Hello and welcome to Youngstown Playlist, a show dedicated to highlighting local musicians right here in Youngstown, Ohio. We wrap up season 2 with a little old-fashioned Americana and catch up with none other than Demos Papadimas.
Traveled east and west ahead of highways and by sea, but now but no place ever fit me, so I'm rambling, stay free. Tell me how long can you wait like that? Till my spirit is contained, my head, my mind is free from care. A routine of any kind is gonna grind me to his coffin. I'll fill his veins with resistance, leave his mind so sore. But tell me how long can you wait like that? Till my spirit is contained, I have my mind is free from care. Can't remember just where I've been, but now it's town to town and state to state. This life I'm living in. Well, now how long can you wait like that? Till my spirit is contained, I have my mind is free from care.
So what is it about this specific genre that you gravitate towards?
Well, you know, what is the genre, sort of? A friend of ours who writes, he has a blog, Jason Diesel Hamad, who has his own blog writing about music called No Surf, and he actually writes for the Americana magazine online, No Depression. He calls it Greco-Americana. Which is kind of, it's kind of true. I mean, it's the easiest way to put it because, I mean, largely what we do is under the umbrella of Americana. I mean, I'm, a singer-songwriter interested in American folk and blues and country. And then there's a side of me that's interested in kind of Mediterranean-influenced stuff. And, I mean, obviously Greek folk music through my background. What do you guys think? I mean...
Lyrically, you pull a lot from, like, big Dylan fan.
Right.
Bob Dylan's a big influence. So listening to the lyrics is a big part of Demos' songwriting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think the songs, I mean, it's definitely a singer-songwriter's kind of band,
Demos writes all the songs before we hear them. So they're all done, and then that's when we collaborate with them.
That's a good point, yeah.
So the genre comes from him. But the band's called Demos Papadimas, so it's not... You know what I mean? We're kind of packaging it a certain way for you. Like it is, they're his songs. We're this the sidekicks, whatever you want to.
But I think everybody here brings in their own kind of influence.
Collaborate.
Yeah.
But
Caitlin's got a great sense of classical violin as well as Celtic.
We can all play our styles. I think there's some bluegrass in there too.
Yeah, that's what really impressed me.
Yeah.
Playing off of each other is a
Right.
huge part.
And I think Corey and Ralph really are a great rhythm section. And I mean, they both are. I mean, Corey, you said, Rick Danko of the band is maybe your favorite bass player. So, I mean, that's, if I'm influenced by Bob Dylan, having somebody influenced by Rick Danko is a good bass player to have.
Absolutely, yeah. For me, like any folk or Americana music, a lot of it is based around storytelling.
Right.
So, I mean, when you're writing a song, where do you pull influences from? Like, where are you getting those stories to write your song?
Well, I don't know. I usually like the songs to just speak for themselves.
That's a total songwriter answer.
But it is. It's hard. It's
borrows a lot from my life of agony and pain. So I just tell him. He calls me and says, "What's going on with you?" And I'll tell him this epic tale of failure. Next thing I know, we have a new song. So it's suspicious.
You have a whole album.
Right.
What is it like seeing the response to this music in this area? I mean, it's not your typical. I'm trying to think of how to word that.
I've heard the same thing. A lot of people don't, it's not, this area isn't necessarily known for kind of rootsy music. I think that's a great response to it. People are interested in it, it's...
The Greek music's part of the Oompa family, and this area has polka. And honestly, when we played at the Morley Pavilion, I don't know if you guys have seen a show at the Morley Pavilion, but the mean age at there, like 67. But I could tell they enjoyed it. We do that. Like, we have that old world thing. It's like, he says Americana, but it's like, it's kind of world music too.
You're right.
And I think that, like, because you have ethnic festivals, that's like the big thing around here. I've noticed, like, over the last 10 years, like, it's become the big thing in Youngstown. Your Italian Fest, your Greek Fest, your Slavic Fest.
And they have really authentic kind of stuff.
So really, if there's one area that should support a band that plays a couple of Greek songs in Greek during their set, it should be Youngstown. Why not?
That's something I do kind of forget to mention, that I'm talking about all the Americana stuff, but there is...
It's a world music thing.
Yeah, there's a decent segment of the set that is, when I'm playing bouzouki and we're doing this kind of Greek influence things, and we get the violin in there. It's got a very kind of Eastern Eastern European kind of gypsy sound as well. But no, I think everybody. I think people in the area respond really well to both sides of the coin. Sort of.
And I think it's just refreshing too.
Yeah.
That's the word I hear a lot. It's fresh, it's refreshing, it's different,
Well, the swing era has had many rebirths. So you have the Scroll Nut, that all happened. There was like a little rebirth of it, and then again it happened recently with some band that covers a bunch of popular tunes in swing style.
Yeah.
But this is the ethnic version of that time period, almost.
Right. It's the same time period.
And it hasn't had a resurgence as it should. Although I do have a friend who plays in the Chardon polka band, and they do well. And they're from the area, so hey.
Have you noticed an evolution in your music over the last few years? Looking back, have you been like, wow, I've really grown in this area, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's been growth. I think, getting together this band lineup has really freed a lot of things up. There were times that we relied on other people in the studio to come in and fill out parts, and now I no longer really feel the need to do that, because I think this lineup is able to deliver. The more you do something, the better you get at it. The more time you spend leading a band or recording, you just get better at it. Yeah. So I think a lot of that.
Although the sound has kind of changed a bit too, a little bit over the
I guess it has.
couple years, getting the electric in. And,
that's true. It's hard to tell. Because at first it was very just all acoustic instruments.
Yes.
Upright bass, no electric bass.
Bass,
and right.
Which we still have, of course.
You're gonna play the electric drums soon.
I might get electric fiddle.
There you go.
Here we go.
Look out.
That's our show. I want to thank Demos Papadimas and his band for taking the time out to play for us. I want to thank everybody at Suzie's Dogs and Drafts downtown location for letting us shoot there, and thank you for watching.
There's no real, band name. I mean, a lot of the time the billing is like Demos Papadimas and his band, and because I feel like, the way I'm doing it, I don't want to be selfish with things because there are a lot of other people involved, and especially in the live set, bringing all of. I could do it solo acoustic, but there's so much that the band brings to it. So, some of the band members don't think we should have a band like Demos Papadimas and something. If anybody out there watching has great ideas, please contact us. We
Be nice.
We'll accept them. Right.